The first loud call from the elephant broke the quiet air of the savannah. Ranger David spun toward the sound. Deep, sharp, echoing through the heat. Elephants were common in this part of the reserve. But not here. Not this close to camp. He climbed onto the jeep's hood, scanning the horizon. Dust hung low over the acacia trees, shimmering in the midday sun. Then he saw her. A lone elephant mother stood at the forest's edge. Ears flared, trunk raised, her call raw with urgency. "Easy, girl," David murmured. "What are you doing out here alone?" But she didn't run. She turned, took a few steps toward him, then stopped, swinging her trunk, eyes fixed on his team. She wanted something. Another trumpet, shorter this time. She turned again, moving back toward the trees, pausing to look over her shoulder. It wasn't a warning. It was a plea. "Gear up," David said. "She wants us to follow." The heat clung like a second skin as they followed her through the scrub. The elephant led urgently, not charging, not panicking, but moving quickly, glancing back every few meters. The rangers jogged to keep up, packs jangling with tools and ropes. "Something's wrong," muttered Samir, the youngest in the crew. David nodded. "Stay alert." They pushed through tall grass until the smell of mud hit. Heavy, wet, suffocating. The sound came next. Low grunts, splashing, the frantic slap of water against skin. At the river's bend, the scene came into view. A young calf was trapped chest-deep in sludge, its small trunk flailing weakly above the surface. Each movement dragged it deeper. The mother stood a few meters away, trembling, trumpeting again, but not at them. At the mud. At her own helplessness. David swallowed hard. "We've got one chance to pull it out." The ground squelched underfoot as the rangers dropped their packs. The mother shifted her massive weight, ears twitching, eyes locked on every move they made. "Ropes first," David ordered. "Keep low. No sudden noise." They worked fast. Two men tied one rope around a sturdy trunk while David and Samir waded into the edge of the mud. It sucked at their boots immediately, thick as cement. The calf let out a panicked cry, high and sharp. The sound tore straight through the air. "Easy," David said, voice low. "We're here, little one." The mother trumpeted, feet shifting. Her trunk lifted, hovering above them like a question. "She's nervous," Samir whispered. "She's terrified," David corrected. "But she's letting us try." They dug by hand, scooping mud away from the calves' legs. Each time they freed an inch, the river pulled more water into the pit, refilling it. Sweat and mud smeared their faces, arms shaking from effort. "Ropes ready?" a voice called. David looped it under the calf's belly, careful not to hurt it. The mother roared, stepping closer. Mud splashed against his chest. "Back, girl, please." But she didn't attack. She stopped just meters away, trembling, her breath deep and shuddering. "Pull," David shouted. The rope went taut. The calf's body lurched, then sank again. Pull again, slow and steady. The men strained, boots sliding in the mud. One heaved too. They couldn't get any purchase in the soft mud. Then something incredible happened. The mother stepped closer to the rangers, her massive bulk casting a shadow over them. She wrapped her trunk around the rope just behind Samir's clenched fists. He and David looked back, and a moment of quiet understanding passed between man and beast. The calf kicked in desperation and slipped deeper into the mud. "Keep going. Pull." With the elephant mother's help, they made steady progress. The rangers found a foothold, and she pulled on the rope with the strength of 20 men. Finally the little elephant came free, up onto firmer ground, and collapsed exhausted. Mud clung to its skin. Its trunk flopped weakly. David stumbled backward, panting and hands shaking. The mother let out a sound he'd never heard before, A deep, trembling rumble that vibrated through his bones. It wasn't anger. It was relief. The moment hung in stillness. The mother moved forward slowly, cautiously as if afraid it was still a dream. The ranger stepped back, giving her space. She reached the calf, lowered her trunk, and swept it gently over its small, shaking body. The calf responded with a squeal, rising unsteadily to its feet. "Look at that," Samir whispered. "He's standing." The calf pressed against her leg, mud sliding off in thick ribbons. She curved her trunk around its head, pulling it close in an embrace so human it hurt to watch. David wiped a hand across his face, smearing mud and sweat. "She knew to come for help," he said quietly. "She chose to trust us." For a long time, the mother stayed still, trunk resting over her calf's back. Then, slowly she turned toward the rangers. Every instinct screamed for them to step away, but no one moved. She approached until her shadow fell over them. Her eyes, dark and wet, met David's. He held his ground. "You're welcome," he whispered. The elephant inhaled deeply, letting out a low rumble that rolled through the ground. Not loud but resonant, like thunder too far to see. The calf trumpeted once, small and clear. Then, with deliberate grace, the mother guided her baby toward the trees. They stopped once at the edge of the forest. The mother turned back, trunk curling briefly in the air. David swore the gesture was a wave. When they were gone, the only sound left was the soft rush of the river. No one spoke for several minutes. Finally, Samir said, "I've worked here 3 years. Never seen anything like that." David nodded slowly. "Neither have I. And I don't think I ever will again." The rescue left the riverbank scarred and silent. Mud prints stretched in every direction, human and elephant alike, fading under the weight of dusk. David and the team packed their ropes, their hands trembling from exhaustion. The radio crackled with static as the first drops of rain began to fall. They stood in a loose line watching the mother and calf move toward the horizon. The calf stumbled once, then steadied itself beneath her shadow. For a long while, none of them spoke. The weight of the moment said it all. "Mission complete," Samir muttered, voice rough with disbelief. "Never thought I'd say that about an elephant rescue." David chuckled, the sound half laughter, half relief. "Neither did I." As the last of the light drained from the sky, they drove back to camp. The jeep rattled and bounced over dry roots and stones, headlights slicing through the dust. In the back seat, a coil of muddy rope lay like a sleeping serpent, the same rope that had held life and danger in its grip just hours before. When they reached the ridge, David stopped the vehicle. Below them, the plains glowed under a rising moon. Far in the distance, he saw movement, small, slow, and steady. The elephant mother, walking beside her calf. She paused once, lifting her trunk into the air, her silhouette framed in silver light. David didn't breathe. Then she lowered it, turned, and disappeared into the tall grass. He exhaled softly, shifting the jeep into gear. "Let's go home," he said. Months passed, then years. Recruits came. Old ones left, but the story stayed, told in pieces around late patrol fires, in quiet tones between sips of coffee. They called it the day the elephants asked for help. Some swore it was proof that nature spoke if you knew how to listen. Others said it was just luck. And every time the tale was told, someone would glance at the horizon, as if expecting to see a mother and her calf walking side by side.